Hello and welcome to the Will Leitch Show. I am the aforementioned Will Leitch, and I thank you for spending part of your day with me. Today's show is about family. It is so hard to become a professional athlete. Literally millions of American children want to be a basketball player or a baseball player or a football player, and almost none of them will make it. I coach Little League baseball in Athens, Georgia, and every single parent there is convinced that their son is going to become a major league player. You know how many of them are right? None of them are right. No Athens Little League player has ever played in the pros. Your kid, sorry parents, is not the exception. It is so hard. You have to have talent, of course, but that's just a small percentage of it. You have to avoid injuries. You have to make sure someone notices your talent. You have to care enough to make sports your only focus. You need everything to fall exactly right, just to have any chance at all. And it's still probably not going to work. Which is why professional sports families are so insane to me. The odds of any one person making it to the big leagues are infinitesimal, but the odds of two brothers or two sisters or a father and a child making it would seem downright cosmic. You see this all the time. Bobby Bonds was one of the most talented men ever to play baseball. And it turns out his son was so great, no one even remembers that his dad played at all. LeBron James wants to stay in the NBA long enough so he can play with his son. His son's 13! The odds of any 13-year-old making the NBA, whatever his skills and parenthood, are nearly impossible. And yet I bet it works out. I bet he makes it. It always blows my mind when there are sports legacies like this. Now, family legacies in real life aren't surprising. Any rich idiot businessman can have a rich idiot businessman's son. Being a successful businessman mostly consists of looking comfortable in a suit, having a name that can get you in a meeting, and being able to say words like scalable and verticals in a sentence without shooting yourself in the face. But sports, and I'd argue movies, are far more zero-sum than that. Everybody wants to be an athlete. Everybody wants to be a movie star. If you're not good enough in either field, you'll never make it. There are no unfair advantages. It's a miracle if you make it, which makes the miracle of a multiple family members making it all the more staggering. You need to tell me that Denzel Washington's kid is a great actor and going to be a star too? Come on! I don't know what my sons are going to do with their lives. They're 6 and 4 after all. But I really don't want them to be writers, just to be clear. It was hard enough for me to make it, and frankly, I'm still not quite sure I have. The odds were completely against me and will be even more so for them. I hope they go get real jobs. They certainly won't be athletes or movie stars after all. I mean, look at me. But it doesn't matter. Those jobs are going to be all taken up by the kids of all the current movie stars and athletes anyway. Sorry, kids, it's apparently nature, not nurture. And your nature sucks. Joining me now is perpetual America's sweetheart and director of the upcoming movie, The Year of Spectacular Men, starring her daughters and, of course, herself, and native of Rochester, Minnesota, Lea Thompson.
Hello, darling.
Pleasure. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for applauding for yourself. I'm always trying to get more people to do that, and they're often hesitant. Thank you very much. It's exciting for me to have you on as someone that is a fan of your work for a long time. And one of the things I find fascinating and kind of a theme of the show is the idea that, like you know, I have two children. They're 6 years old and 4 years old. Mm-hmm. And right now, I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm just trying to get them not to hit their head against things. You know how it goes. Right. And so the idea of them doing what I do, or the idea of not only them doing what I do, but doing it really well, and probably with me better than I did it. It's fascinating to me, like the movie, The Spectacular Men, A Year of Spectacular Men, which I have watched. I watched on the plane on the way out here on iTunes. Really? Because you can see it on iTunes and in theaters.
Wow, I love that.
I know. Please, you have to watch the movie for crying out loud. Yeah, and I enjoyed it very much. And it was a little stunning to me because this is the thing I want to talk to you about is the idea that, like, you are a mom and these are your kids, and you know they're smart, and you know they're interesting, and then one day one of them writes a movie and they star and you're directing it. Like, it feels weird for me to imagine my children and I feel like I would still look at my kids even at that age and be like, you know, I remember when you pooped in the car on the way there. Does it blow you away that because the movie is good, it's funny, it's well written, and it's good. And does it blow you away to even watch it and beaming with pride that they were able to do that? Or do you think about how when they pooped in the car?
Well, you know, it's a whole bunch of things. It's a plethora of emotions at all times.
Yes.
And, you know, like, the amazing thing is we got through the whole thing without a big fight, you know, because, you know, they're sisters too.
Of course.
Maddie and Zoe Deutsch are sisters, and they're both really amazing women in their own right. But, you know, when your kids grow up, I mean, you really realize time is fake. Like, you know how like at one minute you can remember when they're babies, but now you know that they're real women. And they're super strong women, and they really taught me a lot. So I think we all learned a lot about each other, and we went through this really intense journey together. And I'm really, first of all, I'm honored that they wanted to follow in this business with their mom and dad, seeing all the ups and downs and the brutal, you know, humiliation that we go through.
When they originally told you, were you like...
You know, it didn't really come, it wasn't like that. Like Zoe, who's starring in a lot of movies, Why Him, Dirty Grandpa, Before I Fall. Now she has this new movie on Netflix called Set It Up,
which is really funny. It's really funny. It's really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And
I love him. He's from the Everybody Wants Some Linklater movie.
Yes, that's really how they met, and they decided they wanted to do something together. So Zoe is like this really amazing, and she always seemed like an actress to me. She would cry when she played Barbies. And so, but I
still do that.
Yeah, I know. I know you should. But she, you know, she would make up these stories and get really involved in them. And I knew from a very early age that she was going to be an excellent actress. And so I kind of kept her from acting till she was like 16 or something, because I
knew she had it.
Yeah, I knew, but I wanted her to, like, you know, be more mature before she started acting. And so, but Maddie, the writer of the movie, she also was the composer. She wrote 5 of the songs in the movie and also all the scoring. And she was a musician and much more of a writer mind. She doesn't seem so outgoing. Right. So this kind of, it actually came to me as a surprise when she started acting after college. And then also a really big surprise when I started shooting The Year of Spectacular Men, because she's the star of it, and she had these really amazing comedy chops, and I didn't know where she got them. I was like, where'd you get that? I mean, I know I did a sitcom for 4 years. I did Caroline in the City and all of that. So I knew that, you know, I have some comedy chops.
Yes, you do.
But she was really impressive that way.
Because that's what I mean, is that, like, to be able to do that experience, like, are you... Like, you're an accomplished actress yourself. This is your first time directing, but you're also their mom. And not just their mom, but you're also, like, they're grown-ups now. Like, you're not actually, like, you don't have to, like, clean up after them when they're doing things.
The subject material is pretty difficult,
yeah,
too.
Yes, I'm sure.
Because it's a young girl, and she's dealing with depression after she graduates from college and doesn't know what she's doing. And, you know, that, I was like, it was kind of semi-autobiographical, and I was like, what a bad mom. Like, I didn't really know you were going through all this, and then there's these horrible dates and these horrible love scenes that she's going through, and I had to direct that.
I was wondering about that when I watched them. I mean, like, forgive me.
I mean, they're funny.
Yeah, they are funny.
Honest
like, this is not
funny.
You're not Adrian Lynn.
No,
this isn't
that's
right.
funny.
Like, these are
all
good
funny, and the depression is dealt with in a funny way. But you know, to see the pain that she goes through, and of course, we all acknowledge it's a story of privilege for sure, but doesn't mean it's any less difficult in some ways. You know, I mean, but reading it and working with her, working with both of them so closely was really a dream come true. And what's great is the chemistry between the two sisters. I didn't know.
It's almost like they're sisters.
I know, but you don't know. Like a lot of times lovers on screen are boring together. I didn't know if they'd be able to. Zoe's a really great actress. For Maddie to be able to bounce that ball back to her so well, you never know.
Right.
You just don't know.
And you don't know that as a mother, and you also don't know it as a director.
As a director.
So. And
I have directed a lot of TV. I've directed TV movies. I've directed Mom, Switched at Birth, my TV show. I've directed the Goldbergs, lots of the Goldbergs, American Housewife. So I've directed, but doing something like this.
Yeah, this is a big project.
It's
and you have to do it like, and it's an independent movie too, so you have to do it like really fast, right?
It's an independent movie, so you have to do it without any infrastructure.
Right.
Or like any help.
Right.
And you saw how we shot,
of
like
course.
in New York, we shot in the winter in Lake Tahoe, we shot in Los Angeles, we shot in San Francisco on like the most famous streets possible. And so we were really scrappy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
scrappy little fighter.
Yeah, you guys like do it and sprint out of there.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff I learned in Red Dawn. I like use.
That's good.
We're going in.
Well, frankly, we could actually use some of that information if you look at what's going on in the world. Everything you got from Red Dawn, if you could actually keep it. It's all right. We don't have to go that realm. Sorry.
I know. I'm with you.
I'm in a political mode. Forgive me.
No, I get it. It's hard to not be in that.
It's hard to not think about it sometimes, right? Like even when we're, and it's fine.
It's like a full-on depression. Like I think everyone's like a little freaked out
Everyone just
all
wants
the time.
You just want just normal. You miss the normalcy
Yeah.
of like boring, dumb, like I miss like Kato Kalin. Just like that was a stupid thing that people cared about.
Yeah.
I miss that dumb thing. Sorry, I don't mean to get us
No, I'm with
down
you.
the track.
I'm with you. And that's been an interesting thing about this movie is trying to figure out how it all lays in with what's going on in certain ways, even the kind of Me Too movement. I mean, we were very cognizant of like consent,
Yeah, of course, right.
sexuality, and we were very, cognizant of just telling a real young woman's story from her point of view. I mean, it's a hilarious point of
Right.
view, but it's very rare.
Right.
Like every single one of the movies I did when I was an ingenue was written by a man. I was the dream girl, even in Red Dawn with my AK-47.
Right.
I was John Milius's idea of his high school sweetheart.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, that sounds. I write about movies a lot. That sounds John Milius's.
Dream girl. He called me
yeah.
the Beast Woman. And that was like, his idea of a good time. But
So it's got to be so exciting then to be able to just see like not only their talent, but now living in a world where they're able to use it.
Yes, and they inspired me because this is the time when people ask me about being an actor or anything right now. Now is the time where you can actually create your own thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit back and wait for people. And that's what we did. We all gave each other a job that no one else would give us. And we banded together as partners. And a lot of times women don't do that. They don't take partners.
It works. The movie is very funny. The movie
Thank
is very
you.
good.
Thank
and
you.
so now we're going to a section we call frivolous questions of dubious import. These are short questions,
Awesome.
very
Awesome.
easy. As you can tell, I'm very wordy, even in the names of our
No,
segment.
you're very charming.
Charming like a fox. I don't know what that means. I was just trying to sound dangerous. I'm sweating. Lea Thompson's here. Okay, question number one. Do you worry sometimes, going back to our political question, do you worry sometimes that we are perhaps living in the Back to the Future 2 Biff Tannen terrible reality world? That can't be the first
I think we are, honestly. Yeah, I know. I feel bad for Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, he did his job too
didn't
well.
know, yeah.
He was very prescient.
Yes, thanks. I'm blaming you, Tom. You're from Minnesota. I'm from Central Illinois. I'm from Illinois, where Illinois is basically Nebraska with Chicago at the top.
Right.
I'm from the Nebraska part. I'm like, we're closer to Kentucky. So I feel Midwestern in that kind of a way. Minnesota nice. Is it a real thing or is it just people being polite?
Oh, it's a real thing for
It's a real
sure.
thing.
No, nice people, 100% nice.
Okay, fair
but,
enough.
it's a little bit passive aggressive for sure.
Yes, which is funny because people say that about Midwesterners a lot. Like, well, you're actually being passive aggressive, you're not actually being nice. But I'm like, well, yeah, but surface nice is better than no nice.
We could use a little nice.
Yes, exactly.
Nice is
exactly.
good.
Minnesota nice or otherwise. Speaking of which, does it annoy you that people you seem to be a very nice person, but you have the darkness that everybody else has in the world. Does it bother you that people always think that you're because you're obviously not sweet and nice all the time? She punched me in the face. Yes.
Lea Thompson meme
Yeah,
didn't come up.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think there was one person that said I was mean once, but I was just really worried about Michael Fox.
Yeah. Well, good job scrubbing it from Google. By
I
the way.
know. No, you know what? It's an interesting thing because it's easy to dismiss a nice Midwestern girl.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel a little like people dismiss me a little bit, but I because I'm nice, and I don't think it should be that way. Yeah. I vote no on proposition that. But
I'm
I try to be a good person.
Yes, of course, of course.
I try to be kind and I try to be loving, and that's one of the things I'm most proud of my children, that when they work on a crew, that they don't hold
nice
themselves above anybody else, and that ever.
Right.
Or wring their little necks.
See, there we go. We now have a Google.
Yes, I will wring their necks.
She's going infanticide. From Minnesota, did your family play hockey growing up? Were you hockey people? It's a sports show. I can ask a sports.
My family didn't, but I went to the prom with a guy whose jaw was wired shut from playing hockey.
Oh, like during the prom?
No. But
just previously.
You know, I went to the prom like this.
Oh, okay.
And I went.
Wow.
I was just
How
like,
small was your high school?
I was like, you can't drink because you'll throw up and might die.
Yeah.
So that's a hockey story.
That is a hockey
but
story.
But hockey's a big deal.
Listen, but most of the hockey players I know don't even bother with it's just they'll just let it go. They'll just get me back on the ice.
Right.
You of course started doing ballet. Do you think ballet is more competitive or less competitive than acting?
More.
More.
More brutal.
More. It's meaner.
Brutal.
Is it like Black Swan or is it?
No, it's just brutal. It might be different now.
Yeah.
Because now you get sued and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the things.
I think the ballet just went through that. Right.
The things that people said to me. Oh my God! When I started acting, I was like, Really? That's the best. Bring
all
it
you got.
on.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's it. I am not going into ballet.
Don't go into ballet. My arm looks fat. I'm going like this. Hide behind pillows.
Oh, Lord, what ballet does to people? Oh, my heavens. This gorgeous woman worrying about her arms.
All right, there I am. What? Is that a boobs hanging out now? Okay.
I'll give you a moment.
You're making me so happy right now.
That's the goal. It's the nitrous coming in through the air. The new Howard the Duck, do you think he's attractive? The new Howard the Duck, do you think he's as attractive as the old one? No. Yeah.
I think they have to fix that.
Yeah, they did not, definitely tried to go against the
No,
shoot.
that's not what Howard the Duck looks like in the comic books.
Yeah, he's got a martini.
It looks really scroungy.
I'm a longtime Tom Cruise defender and a big fan of his, but it's hard for me to imagine him as like a struggling young actor or an early young actor. Was he like insecure and nervous about making it back when you made All the Right Moves, or was he already like Tom Cruise?
He was like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a thing. Like, I think he was a military brat or something. He would say yes sir, no sir. He acted real polite all the time. But when we auditioned for All the Right Moves, he wasn't a big star.
Right.
His Risky Business hadn't come out, and he was small to play a football player.
Right.
Like, they were looking for somebody bigger.
But
he did a great job, and that's regularly picked as one of the better football movies.
Yes. I think we have it on the SI.com channel.
My husband made The Replacements, which I think is a great football.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
It is a good movie. Okay, another question. We ask this question on every show. Did you ever on a set and you had pink eye like Bob Costas? Remember when Bob Costas was at the Olympics and he had pink eye? Remember when that happened? And he kept going out there every day, just like that, every day, just wanted to be on television that badly. Has that ever happened? That ever happened to you?
Pink eye? I don't think so.
Think so, okay.
But I mean, I've had like really terrible colds.
Okay, but not currently.
No, okay. Not lately. I haven't been sick. I did whole movies totally sick. And then
Which movie did you do the most ill?
Howard the Duck for a whole month.
Oh.
I was like, probably had pneumonia. And they didn't care. Like, get in with that duck.
Get in there.
Go
okay.
sing.
Okay, a couple more. I'm a parent, as a parent of a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, not me, not you. Do you, once they get like grown up, like, do you actually get like some time to like enjoy your marriage and like clear your brain for a second? Because that's not currently happening.
No, it's
I'm
brutal.
I'm still kind of in the muck a little.
No, it's brutal.
It
but
gets
it gets better.
It gets
But
better.
it changes. The problems get bigger.
Yeah, right.
And then they're like super dismissive until they need you.
Yeah, and I can screw them up a lot more, I feel like, then. Because like now the wrong answer can just be, I'm right. And then they'll like be like, okay, well, I guess we live here. I guess he's right.
Right.
And that stops eventually? It probably stops.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm really glad I took the journey.
Okay, let's go. Good. Well, they're doing great. So hopefully my kids can do half as well. So, okay, we have a game.
Okay.
Game we're playing. We have a game we're playing.
Involve pillows?
It is called Horrible Dystopian Future or Back to the Future, which is to say, I'm going to give you a headline that is either in the October 15th, 2015 USA Today from the movie, or in the USA Today from real life, from Back to the Future.
What a good
And you have to
game.
tell me which one is real.
What a game. Oh, what a game. I'm scared now.
We could get you
I
another.
should have read that
Do you want
USA
another
Today.
pillow? Okay, question number 1. President says she's tired. Back to the Future headline or regular headline?
Back to the Future.
Okay, fair enough. That's a gimme. Question number 2. Sesame Street reveals new character.
Real USA Today.
Correct. Question number 3. Pitcher suspended for bionic arm use.
Back to the Future
I think
paper.
it's almost like we got a ringer. Number 4. Swiss terrorist threat.
Back to the Future. That's hilarious.
That's a good one.
Bob Zemeckis wrote that.
5. U.S. says 2 Secret Service agents found asleep on the job.
Now.
That's true. That's great.
Yeah.
I think that's just probably still happening.
Yeah.
And question number 6. Real Death Star is vaporizing planets.
Back to the Future.
Oh, you were so close.
It's true.
5 out of 6. That's a true headline.
Really?
Oh yeah, we're dying. Like it's happening right now. We're going to.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm sorry you had to spend
No.
your last moments with me.
I know, but
on the
I
show.
think it's good.
Oh, yeah,
It's
fun.
appropriate.
It seems like we were kind of working toward that. Okay, last thing we do, we play a game called How Fast Can You Say Things on this show that you're with Will right now.
Okay.
It's a very snappy title.
Okay.
You were on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
And you should have won, in my opinion. I want you have 30 seconds on the clock. Remember Outburst, the old board game Outburst, where you had it's like Family Feud played quickly.
Okay.
I give you like a category. I say books of the Bible, and you would have 30 seconds to say as many of them as you could.
Okay.
So you have 30 seconds to give me as many Dancing with the Stars winners in every incarnation of the show. Because you are.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 30 seconds on the clock. Ready? And go.
Jennifer Grey.
No. Yes.
won?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yes.
I can't remember anything.
That's 2 more than I would have gotten.
Is it already
doing
over? I should.
Yeah, the goal of the game is to beat me. You have 10 seconds if you need more.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm so bad at
What are you
games.
talking? You got 2 more than I got.
Okay.
Okay. You got. There's a bunch of other ones, but you got Jennifer Grey, Alfonso Ribeiro. I like that. Helio Castroneves and Emmett Smith and Drew Lachey, all sorts of other people, and just lots of famous. Kelly Pickler. Who won the year you were on?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Alfonso
Of course,
Ribeiro.
I would remember who I lost to. What, the tap dance kid?
You did not lose.
Just a little bitter. I lost 2 shows to him, 2 reality shows.
What was the other one?
The other one was a disaster. It was like a pilot.
Oh, okay.
It's called Celebrity Duets.
Celebrity Duets.
Now, what's the chance of me doing 2 talent shows and losing to the same
him each time?
freaking guy?
Yeah.
He's very talented, obviously.
Someone, if I'm Alfonso
Yeah, but
Ribeiro,
he doesn't have his kids in his own movie, right?
yeah, I'm a little bit worried that he's going to get a lead pipe to the knee
No,
the next
no,
time he
no,
goes
it's
on a show.
okay.
You heard it here first. Someone please get her another pillow. Lea Thompson, thank you so much for your time. See the movie, The Year of Spectacular Men, in theaters and on demand. It's a wonderful movie. You did a wonderful job. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for buying it.
By all means.